Hello folks and welcome back to Eerie Storytime. Today we delve back into the eerie shadows of folklore, this time in what is today called the Czech Republic. Dressed in tattered clothes and cloaked in fog, the Bubak isn't just a scarecrow, he's a collector of souls. This eerie figure from Czech folklore is said to lure victims with ghostly cries, driving fear deep into the heart of the night. But what truly hides beneath the straw? And what should we believe? Let's take a peek into this legend and you can decide for yourselves. In the Czech and Slovak countryside, a scary story lives on, the Bubak. It's not your usual scarecrow. People say the Bubak is made of shadows and fear, hiding near forests and rivers. It doesn't scare birds. Instead, it tries to trick people, especially kids, into going into the dark. The Bubak looks creepy, a man-shaped figure made of old clothes and shadows, with thin arms and legs and no face. The scariest thing is its voice. It sounds like a lost baby crying, which pulls people closer. This sound tricks kind people, turning a good feeling into a deadly trap. The Bubak is more than just a monster. It's part of the land's old stories, a warning passed down for many years. Around winter fires, families told stories about the Bubak to explain the dangers of rivers, woods, and the night. It became the face of everything that was tricky and unknown outside the safety of home. The story gave shape to old fears, what hides just outside the light of the fire. The Bubak story is both a thrilling scare and a useful warning. It teaches, the world is dangerous after dark, and not every cry for help is what it seems. The Bubak's cry is a sign, stay close to home, stay in the light, and watch out for the shadows. For hundreds of years this story has been told in Central Europe, changing how people see the night. It's a story that stays around, reminding us that some fears are as old as humanity itself. The Bubak waits, just outside what we know in the darkness. The Bubak story isn't in history books, but in quiet talks passed down through families. These tales came from the foggy riverbanks and forests of Bohemia and Moravia. Imagine a village person in the 1700s hearing a baby cry by the river at night. They go closer, only to see a scarecrow-like shape in the dim light. Such stories were shared in quiet voices, each meeting adding to the legend. The Bubak haunted dangerous places, riverbanks, deep ponds, tangled woods, places where people could disappear. The main thing was always the crying baby, a trick that used kindness to lure in victims. Some people said it was a torn figure carrying a macabre sack for taking souls. Others said he traveled with a cart for collecting his victims. The Bubak's shape changed with each telling, made different by personal fears and local dangers. It was never just one monster, but a reflection of the community's worries. The story grew, a living tale born from darkness and the unknown. The Bubak became a warning. Not all cries in the night should be followed. Every time the story was told, the shadows got a bit deeper and darker. The Bubak is a master of deception, using the sound of a crying baby to lure unsuspecting people to their doom. Once they were close, its true nature is shown, a scary laugh followed by a paralyzing sensation. Victims would be unable to move, awaiting their gruesome fate. Stories say the Bubak collected souls, weaving them into the cloth of its sack for some dark reason. This changes it from a simple hunter into a scary, magic monster. People who were tricked weren't just lost. They were stuck forever, weaved into the Bubak's evil sack for eternity. The Bubak is most active on nights with no moon, lurking near water, forests, and lonely fields. It blurs the line between the safe world and the wild, unknown. The story feels real because the Bubak could be anywhere, just outside the village waiting in the shadows. Its story lasts because it shows the fear of what we can't see or understand. The Bubak is darkness made into a shape. Watch out for the night and the one who makes bad dreams. The Bubak story was more than just a ghost story. It shaped everyday life in country towns. Parents used it to keep children safe, warning them that the Bubak would come for those who wandered after dark. The fear of the Bubak was a strong way to stop bad behavior, more effective than simple rules. It turned the unknown dangers of rivers and forests into one clear, scary threat. Adults, too, respected the story. They avoided shortcuts and stayed close to home at night. The Bubak's cry was a constant reminder to be careful and stay together. The story became part of local talk and culture, a quick way to talk about everything dangerous in the night. By naming their fears, communities found a way to control them and stay safe. The Bubak story worked like a dark protector, teaching important safety lessons. It warned children away from rivers and woods after dark, turning real dangers into stories they wouldn't forget. The Bubak drew a clear line between the safety of home and the dangers of the wild. The story brought families together, making the home a safe place against the darkness. Shared fear of the Bubak made community bonds stronger and kept children close. This way of teaching through fear was viewed as necessary, though today many would consider it to be mean. The Bubak was a symbol of danger, a tool for staying alive disguised as a ghost story. Parents weren't trying to scare their children, but to keep them safe. The Bubak's shadow was a shield for the village, and for many, it worked as intended. In modern times, the Bubak has found new life in movies, TV shows, books, and video games. Its scarecrow shape and chilling baby's cry make it a perfect scary figure. Games like The Witcher 3 use monsters inspired by the Bubak, reintroducing millions of people to the old Central European legend. The main parts of the story, a menacing scarecrow, a baby's cry, and taking souls, are made bigger for new audiences. Scary story writers and filmmakers use the Bubak's image to touch on old fears. TV shows look into its beginnings, keeping the story alive for people all over the world. The Bubak's haunting cry now sounds far beyond the fields where it started. Old stories never die, they just find new ways to scare us. The Bubak remains a strong figure from old Central European stories because it touches on fears everyone has. It's not a monster far away, but one that is part of local fields, forests, and rivers, making the story feel personal. Every lonely field at sunset, every strange sound in the night can bring the story rushing back. The Bubak is woven into the land and the culture, a living piece of history. Today it's less about warning children and more about honoring old ways. The story connects people to their past, keeping old tales alive. The Bubak lasts because it's a fantastic, unforgettable story, a scarecrow that cries and weaves souls. It shows how powerful imagination is and the need to explain the darkness. The Bubak is more than just a scary monster, it's a masterpiece of old stories. As long as there are shadows, the Bubak will never truly disappear. Alright folks, that's a wrap on the mythical Bubak. So tell me, what did you think? It's not the first example we've encountered of people using boogeyman-type stories to try to keep their families safe. Certainly we've now seen examples of that from all around the world. Thank you for joining me on another delve into the darkness of legends and folklore. Some of you have noticed we've slowed down on videos over the last couple weeks. Indeed, there are some things going on, but we'll get back on a regular schedule ASAP. If you enjoyed the video, then please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. We appreciate your continued support in getting our stories out for others to hear. Until next time.